Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Everything Real Estate. We hope you're having an amazing start to 2023. Poncho and I are so honored to have you listening, but we want more than that. We don't want just for you to listen to us. We want to hear from you. What area in real estate do you want? What are you interested? What do you want to hear from us? Do you want to hear purchasing, selling, closing, moving, inspections? Let us know so we can feature it on our show. Poncho and I are really passionate about what we do for a living, and we can talk for hours, but we want to keep it to about 20 minutes. So let's jump right in. Poncho?
Hello. How are you today?
I am amazing. I'm still up here in Toronto. So, sporting let me see if you can see my agency jacket. And we've got my assistant here. Hi, Francesco.
Hey, Francesco.
And of course, I've got Buying Beverly Hills in the background with all the agency swag. And you've got your swag on, I see too today.
Of course, yes. Will be a sin if I don't wear all of these. For everyone that is hearing this on Spotify or on Apple, well, we have our T-shirt that says the agency. Well, I have that one, and Angela has her hoodie that says the agency too. And actually, if you want to buy the official T-shirts and hats, well, it is a store. Just you need to send us an email or send us a message through our social media, and we will send you the link. Or if not, here, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're gonna be able to find the link how to buy or where to buy all these brands that the agency has, all those T-shirts and the hats, and actually they have a very cool thing that you can put your water. I mean, it is great. So, Angela, I have a question for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, so what are we seeing in the market right now in your area, and especially what you are seeing in your market? It's like it's getting very crazy, it's very hot, it's more slowed down, or how it is right now?
Okay, so if anybody had listened to our last podcast, you know that I work in two markets. I work in Toronto, Canada, and I also work in South Florida. So we're going to focus on the South Florida market for purposes of this conversation and this session. And the market has slowed down a little bit, and prices are coming down because interest rates went up. But Poncho, at the end of the day, there's always going to be people buying and there's always going to be people selling. So things are selling, people are buying. And what's really great is that other markets have opened up for buyers. So Canadians now can travel freely. Europeans are coming over. And, listen, Florida is a dream. No matter what's going on in the world, Miami's Miami, and everybody wants a piece of it. So the days on market have gone a little bit longer, but I think it gives buyers a little bit more, buying power. So it's moving, and I'm really positive for a very successful 2023.
Yeah.
What about you? What about Puerto Vallarta?
Well, in Puerto Vallarta, it's getting a little bit more slowed down too, but it is very interesting. The last 2 years, I think, normally our days on the market, let me start like this. Normally our days on the market, they were like a year, for example, in a house, which for you guys is like, oh my God, what's happening? Or is the price is bad? The neighborhood is unsafe? No, it's just that because we are in a resort town, that's what it is. Because how many people they are relocating with their family to look for a house here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico? It's maybe one of 25, more or less, right? So that's why our days on the market, they were very long and then got a little bit stretched, and then it starts to be like that. So what I tell the new agent, especially the new agents at my office, that if they start to work in real estate when everything was super hot and crazy, this is the time that they are going to prove themselves that they are very good, because they are going back to basics of what we talk. For me, this will be my 4th or 5th wave. So what's going to happen? More days on the market. What do we have to do to be more creative? For example, what we are doing now. So that's what it is. And for example, with condos, because Vallarta, it's a place that we have more condominiums. It's gonna be the same. People there be coming here, and they will, instead of buy right away, maybe they're gonna take a little bit longer for that reason, because we are in a second market. So that's what it is. So it's still hot, but with more reserves about it, and let's say back to normal. That's as how it was 2-3 years ago. It's back to normal, which is good. So I'm not worried about it. I'm very positive about it. People, I mean, in the last forum that we were, the economists say that people that are going to look to buy overseas or in the second home market, as Florida, as Playa del Carmen, as Puerto Vallarta, Los Cabos, San Miguel, or Dominican Republic, or Turks and Caicos. I mean, we are privileged of that because we have good weather, we have amazing people, we have good opportunities for people that they can live, work, and play in those places. So I think that's fantastic.
Agreed. I agree. I think that we're going to see, I don't think we're going to see this huge slowdown because at the end of the day, you're still selling and we're still buying, and real estate is always a constant. It's still, it's a constant. So, and who doesn't want to live on the beach or have a beach view or be living in a warmer climate, especially during the cold winter, bitter months? Like I'm up here in Toronto and it's, it's bitter cold. So it's just a little getaway. And if you're, in these markets, it's a quick flight too. And that's the other thing that's made a big difference this year in 2023 is that there's more flights available and, more people are traveling again, which is fantastic.
That's pretty good. I know.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what are the difference between the Florida market and the Puerto Vallarta market? What do you think, Angela?
That's a really good question. I'm going to say that the biggest difference, you just mentioned that Puerto Vallarta is more like a resort market, whereas Florida, we do have the resort, but the migration over the last 2 or 3 years has really been people coming and moving permanently to Florida, making Florida a permanent residence because we have some tax benefits of that. And we've had a huge migration from both New York and California. So I think it's the permanent residency that's the biggest difference. So yes, we do have the resort. We have a little bit of both, but our primary driving factor is that, that residential full-time living.
That's pretty good. I think here in Vallarta, we found that there are more people that they give themselves the chance to live by the beach or closer to the ocean and work here. So that they discover that they can do home office.
Right.
And they can work from here with no problem. And it's not just people from the States or Canada, even people from Mexico City, Guadalajara, León, or Monterrey, that they found that they can be back and forth if they have to, but also that they can spend more time here, not just a week. So that's, I think, one of the little difference in our market. Another important thing that I want to address is that here in Mexico, we don't have lock boxes. And you are very, you guys, you have that. But here in Mexico, we don't have lock boxes to show a property. So let's say it's very important for me that for the ones that are hearing and watching this podcast, that they know that if they are planning to come into my area, that we need to set up appointments ahead. So we need the leasing agent. Let's say you are the leasing agent for this beautiful condominium in the South Shore. I need to call you. I need to set up the appointment and see if you're available, that you go there. And also if the condo is available, that you can open the condo and actually and show us the condo. So that's, I think, one of the biggest difference that we have, that we don't have lock boxes.
I actually like that because, if you're the listing agent of that property, you want to show it, you want to sell it. And, there are features in any home that if I'm the agent bringing the buyer, if the listing agent isn't there, it's a little harder, to say, okay, I can point this out, because as a buyer's agent, I'm looking at 7 homes, let's say, and when that listing agent is there, they're letting me know why my buyer should buy their home over the 7. So I actually like that. And just to pony up on your point, there are some condominium buildings here. In the residential, you don't see it, but in the condominiums, they don't allow the lock boxes because they want the realtors, and that's more of a security, issue. So I really like that the no lock box thing, Poncho, that you guys have going over there.
Thank you. And actually, you know what? I think it's very good because no one is gonna know better of your listing than you.
Yep, that's right.
I don't know if it happens to you that because I've been in this situation that I do an appointment and I arrive and then the agent is there and technically he just opened the door and he just like walk around. I'm like, excuse me, like, why? So do your job, get your commission.
Yeah.
You're gonna get like a well paid. Just make my clients fall in love with your property. Even if it's the most tiny property, it will be a future that they will make happy. Something that I learned from Mauricio when we were at COVID, and then that we have these sessions and trainings and things like that, and it was something that he asked to his sellers, sorry, where do they spend a lot of time, right? Mm-hmm. So since then, every lesson that I get, I'm like, where do you spend more time? And they're like, oh, here in the living room, or here in the bedroom, or here by the pool, or whatever. So and I tried that when I got the listing, and then I did the showings for that specific property or another property. And I said, oh, well, by the way, my clients, they sit here every morning to have breakfast, technically to help them to picture themselves to that they can have breakfast over there in that table or by the pool or things like that. So, or for example, I had one client that she did yoga by the pool, and I'm like, oh yes, my client always do yoga here. Imagine you can do yoga if you want to do some stretch here every morning and things like that. So that's why I think it's important that a listing agent goes direct to the listings that they can sell. Well, not just sell, because I think just to make people fall in love of properties. And
and also to teach them. So I've been showing in Jupiter recently. I've got some clients I've been showing up in Jupiter. It's a beautiful area up there. And I've been very fortunate. All the homes that we've gone to see, the listing agents have been there. And I love learning about the community, the amenities that the homes have, what memberships do they have, and when were these homes built, the special features in the home. Because you can walk through a home, you might not notice that maybe the walls are a little bit curved as opposed to pointy. Oh, well, that doesn't matter. It does if you have a little child, they're running around and, they're hitting their head on a curved piece of wall as opposed to round. So just the little features that they offer, crown moldings, what makes that home special. And it's not just running through the home, it's actually seeing it, because you're living in this, whether it's for a month, 2 months, 3 months, it's your home,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the no lockbox thing. I don't really put lockboxes, very rarely, unless I'm away and I don't have backup. But we work for the agency, so the one beautiful thing about our company is, I have an amazing team in South Florida, and an amazing team here in Oakville. So if I need something, I can just call one of the agents, and we work together that way. So we normally don't have those kind of issues. So it's great. I love that you mentioned that.
That's good. Remember the condo that we saw when we met at Lodge? It was where Marilyn Monroe was. Remember?
Oh, I love that. The 2-story one?
The 2-story one. The story about
yes.
that. Remember?
Yes, I do, with the pool. It had the pool on the
please share with our audience about that story, because that's magnificent. That's magnificent, and that brings us to the story of why with the listening, it's amazing to have it over there. So please.
Yeah, he was really awesome. He told us the historical story. First off, that it was a motel, it was a condo conversion. They fixed it up. It was the distance from that particular condominium complex to Los Angeles. They had that great story about filming, and I don't know if it's still true today, but back in the day when they filmed, and they had to go on break, they were only allowed to be within a certain amount of miles from the set so they can take a break. And this particular location happened to be within the distance. So that's why it became so popular. I think it was Sammy Davis Jr. He spoke about the Rat Pack and, how they would frequent there. And what was really awesome is I felt like we were transported in time into this building. And then you remember when we went into that, it was like their recreation room.
Yeah.
And it was left as if it was still the 1920s and 30s, but tastefully done. And I don't remember the shape of the pool. Was it like a cork? Was it like a bottle? It was something very specific, like the cork of a champagne bottle or something.
I think it was that. And for the fact that we got that part of the story, that was amazing.
Yes. It was amazing.
And then, for example, in personally, I thought to see Marilyn Monroe just walking by the pool, or all those parties that all those producers they had in that condo or in that complex too. I mean, it's amazing. It's Ocotillo Lodge. That's the name of the building.
Yeah, it was beautiful. That was a great listing. I think it was our first one. That was the longest part of our ride that day of the listing. It was great.
It was
Charles
great.
Borromeo brought us there.
Yes.
Charles from our Palm Desert office. It was a really great day, but that's what you miss. You put it on a lockbox. I walk in, it's just a 2-story condo and oh, wow, that's kind of cool. It has a pool. But then when you realize why it has the pool, how did they make it a 2-story? It really wasn't a 2-story, it was converted. And it's just all of that. The decor in there was beautiful. It was really, really an awesome. And that's what we as listing agents need to do. And I know I try to do that. And hopefully I do as good of a job as our colleagues out in Palm Desert. That was a really special day.
Exactly. Well, I think that it's been a very great conversation that we had.
Yes.
It's been great. So what is your
Sorry, I was just going to ask you the same question. I just had that question. Social media on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, it's Correnti Realtor. LinkedIn and Facebook, it's Angela Correnti. And you're going to put some of those little things in the bottom. And what about you, Poncho? Your social media is?
Well, on Facebook, you can find me as Poncho at the Agency PB. On Instagram, Poncho at the Agency PB, the same as TikTok too. So LinkedIn too, like Al Poncho Davalos, the Agency PB too. I'll put everything over here, and in the box of description, you will find our social media. So thank you so much for everyone.
Yes. Right? One last thing is we'd love to have some guest speakers on the show. We want to hear from you. Who would you like? We can get maybe an engineer, inspectors, closing agents. Let us hear. We want to hear from you. Mortgage agents. What do you want to hear? We want this to be a very interactive, discussion. It's not just me and Poncho, although we can talk for hours. We want you to be part of our conversation. So thanks for listening, and thank you for the love, and we send it all back to you. Poncho, any last words?
No, well, thank you so much. Thank you for everyone for hearing and watching this podcast. Thank you, Angela, for being part of this. And I recommend everyone not to miss the 3rd episode of our podcast, because you are gonna love it. Maybe we're gonna have one guest, maybe 2, who knows. You stay tuned, because you are gonna love it.
Yes, and I'll be back in Florida, so you'll see my Florida office over there.
Yeah, that's good. Well, thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Sending love, and don't forget to watch Buying Beverly Hills on Netflix.
Yay.
Wow.